W8VPV. Repeater. Net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDAVYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2490 with a release date of Friday, July 18th, 2025 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. The FCC okays experimental use of amateur frequencies by a satellite for 5G broadband. Youth on the Air hosts its first junior camp, and ham radio plus a small dog helped rescue a hiker in the Swiss Alps. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2490 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Our top story takes us to Washington, D.C., where the FCC has approved an experimental license for the satellite of a 5G mobile provider. And the license approves use of some amateur radio frequencies. We have details from Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
AST Space Mobile, the Texas-based rival of SpaceX, has been approved for an experimental license to test a low Earth orbit satellite that is a prototype for its planned mobile phone connectivity from space. The U.S. Federal Communications Commission granted the license on Friday, July 11th, giving the company the ability to test a satellite that has a phased array antenna that enables it to function as a cell tower from space. Known as FM1, it is at the center of the 5G broadband provider's hopes to build a satellite-to-phone internet system. The FCC has assigned the call sign WP2XRX, which expires on July 1st, 2027. A copy of the license online shows that it authorizes experimental operation only on 37.5 to 42 gigahertz and 2.235 gigahertz, 2.245 gigahertz for mobile satellite services. The amateur radio frequencies, 430 to 440 megahertz, also appear on the license. The 5G service requested those frequencies to conduct telemetry, tracking, and telecommand between ground stations and its satellites. The company seeks FCC approval for operation of 248 low Earth orbit non-geostationary satellites. Its present license only permits 5. AST Space Mobile has been developing its network in association with AT&T and Verizon. SpaceX is partnering with T-Mobile. A copy of the license can be seen using the link to the FCC website that appears in the text version of this week's newscast. This is Kent Peterson, KC0 DGY.
Meanwhile, Amateur Radio Daily reports that a ham in Germany has asked the FCC to oppose AST Space Mobile's use of amateur radio frequencies on 70 centimeters and is seeking proof that its operation cannot cause interference to radio amateurs. A comment period remains open on the FCC website through the 21st of July. The amateur radio map of Canada has undergone a change with its creation of a new section. Andy Morrison, K9 AWM, has the details.
Radio amateurs who live in Canada's Yukon territory now have a section to call their own. Radio Amateurs of Canada has separated the Yukon territory from the overall territory section and given it a designation of its own. It now carries the abbreviation YUK, setting it apart from hams in Nunavut and the Northwest Territories. Those regions will continue to be part of the section known as Territories, which carries the abbreviation TER. Radio Amateurs of Canada made the announcement in the July-August 2025 issue of the journal, The Canadian Amateur. The change took effect on the 1st of July. While the new section may have consequences for ARRL Field Day, Sweepstakes CW, Sweepstakes SSB, and the 160-meter contest, the changes are not expected to have an impact on any major contests from the ARRL or RAC. Organizers of QSO parties may need to review their operating rules. This is Andy Morrison, K9 AWM.
Listen for the pileups as 4 young amateurs get on the air from Curacao during the Dave Coulter Memorial Youth DX Adventure. Travis Lisk, N3ILS, tells us who they are.
It is always a bit of a homecoming every year when the young participants in the Dave Coulter Memorial Youth DX Adventure arrive in Curacao at the Super Contest Station of the Caribbean Contesting Consortium. From the 17th through to the 22nd of July, the adventurers' host, Uli DL8OBQ, will be extending a welcome to Oklahoma brothers Izzy Russell, KJ5CMP, and Josiah, WD5JR, and their father John, N5VOF. Agnes Wagner, AD8IR, and her brother Ben, AD8FQ, are accompanied by their grandmother Joanne, a fan of CW, even though she is not a licensed amateur operator herself. As in previous years, the group's log is destined to fill up with several thousand QSOs as the young operators call QRZ under the call sign PJ2Y from the island that is IOTA number SA099. The adventure opportunity, which is open to licensed amateurs between the ages of 12 and 17, bears the name of its co-founder, Dave Coulter, KB8OCP, who became a silent key in 2013. This is Travis Lisk, N3ILS.
Youth on the Air in the Americas camp has ended its run in Colorado, and now it's time for the camp's much younger version to shine in Ohio as we hear from Paul Brown, WD9 GCO.
Youth on the Air Junior Camp USA, the younger sibling of the Youth on the Air in the Americas, is preparing to welcome campers for the first time this month. And you can too by working them when they get on the air. The debut session of this camp is being hosted by the Westchester Amateur Radio Association at the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting in Westchester, Ohio. Youngsters under the age of 15 will be calling CQ with the special event call sign W8Y throughout the weekend of July 25th and at specially scheduled times. When they're not in the shack, however, the campers will be involved in radio-related activities similar to those at the regional YOTA camps for young people 15 through 25. You can participate, too, by watching the opening ceremony at 1700 UTC on Friday, July 25th on the Youth on the Air YouTube channel, where videos will highlight some of the day's activities. Of course, getting these youngsters in your log is the best way to support them. Be listening on the HF bands, especially at the following dedicated times: Friday, July 25th from 2230 to 0100 UTC, Saturday, July 26th from 1500 to 1600 UTC, and Sunday, July 27th from 2000 to 2100 UTC. This is Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
Amateur radio isn't the only activity that seeks good mileage from the sun. How about solar-powered automobiles? High school students are putting these homebrew vehicles to the test, and amateur radio is celebrating that challenge. As we hear from Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
The Texas Motor Speedway is the scene of the Solar Car Challenge, an event that has been encouraging high school students to experiment with alternative energy since 1993. According to a post on the QRZ.com forums, special event station K5S will be on 20 meters from the 17th through the 25th of July to celebrate the cars built by students from California, Florida, Washington State, Texas, and elsewhere. Listen for radio operators around 14.340 megahertz for single sideband and 14.074 megahertz for FT8. They'll be on the air from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time. The actual 4 days of the race are the 20th through the 23rd. Naturally, everyone's hoping for good terrestrial and solar weather. Everyone start your engines. This is Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the amateur radio Newsline heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the W9YRC repeater of the York Radio Club in Elmhurst, Illinois, following the weekly Wednesday net at 8 p.m. The Adventure Radio Society is challenging CW ops to turn down their power and get outdoors with the trees and the bees. Jim Dameron, N8TMW, explains.
So, here's the buzz. If you're a CW operator and enjoy QRP, 4 hours on July 27th have been reserved just for you. It's the annual Flight of the Bumblebee, organized by the Adventure Radio Society, and anyone can operate from 1700 to 2100 UTC. Because the objective is for bumblebee stations to work portable and home-based stations to chase bumblebees, it promises to be quite a hive of activity. You'll know you're working a bumblebee because the operators will append stroke BB to their calls. Each bumblebee will be assigned their own number so that they aren't just bumbling along. This popular event has also worked well for pota hunters and soda chasers, but as always, there are rules to follow, and there is a necessary exchange of bumblebee numbers and other information, but always short and sweet. For details, visit the Adventure Radio Society website. The link appears in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. The society was formed in the 1990s by Russ Carpenter, AA7QU, in Oregon, to promote the enjoyment of QRP radio outdoors. This is Jim Dameron, N8TMW.
In India, Hams helped a family reunite with a missing daughter they had long since given up for dead. We hear the details from Jim Meechin, ZL2BHS.
The parents of a woman missing from West Bengal, India, for 8 years were reunited with her in early July by amateur radio operators after she was found in Bangladesh. Her parents told local media that she had disappeared from her home 8 years ago, and they were convinced she had died during that time. Local media reports said that the woman, who was now 28, had been determined to have mental challenges. A report in the Indian Express said that Mohammed Abdul Gurney Fitu S21BD, a ham in Bangladesh, first spotted the woman at a railway station not far from the social services agency he operates. He told the newspaper that when he spoke with her, he was surprised to learn she was from India. He contacted amateurs in West Bengal and provided information about her home village and her parents' names, which she was able to provide. In West Bengal, Ambrashna Biswa, VU2JFA, said he received the woman's photos and other details and asked Sanjib Sama, a shortwave listener who belongs to the West Bengal Radio Club, to assist by locating her parents. They were tracked down the next day, and following a video call between them and her daughter, arrangements were being made with government authorities for her eventual return after her medical condition could be further assessed and managed. This is Jim Meechan, Red 2BHF.
In the world of DX, a 12-person team will be using the call sign 9M8A from Satang Besar Island, IOTA number OC165, East Malaysia from the 26th of July through to the 10th of August. Listen for them operating CW, SSD, FT8, and FT4 on 80 through 6 meters. They will also participate in the IOTA contest. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Maxim OH70 is on the air as 8Q7YY from the Maldives, IOTA number AS013. Through to the 25th of July. His main mode is SSB, but he will occasionally operate using FT8. Listen for him on 40, 20, 17, 15, 12, 10, and 6 meters. See QSL details on QRZ.com. You're listening for Joe, F8GDP, operating holiday style as F8GDP/P from Oleron Island, IOTA number EU032. From the 20th of July through to the 1st of August. He will operate mainly using CW and occasionally FT8. Listen for Joe on 60, 40, and 30 meters. QSL via the home call. Team J45E will be on the air from the 24th through the 29th of July from Cost Island, IOTA number EU001. Listen on 80 through 10 meters, where operators will be using CW, SSB, and the digital modes. The team will also participate in the IOTA contest. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Finally, there are two tiny ham radio heroes in our final story for this week. Both prevented a hiking accident from turning into a tragedy. We'll let Ralph Spilacci, KK6ITB, share the details.
A July 4th hike in the Swiss Alps near the Italian border turned into a fight for life for one hiker after he lost his footing and plunged into an icy crevasse that trapped him 8 meters deep below the glacial surface. The hiker was not alone. He'd held onto his amateur radio HT and used it to call for help. According to various media accounts, although his signal was picked up nearby, that radio operator could not narrow down the hiker's location. He reached out to emergency services instead. The hiker was also not alone because he had a companion, his small dog, believed to be a papillon. The little dog remained steadfast in the snow, sitting atop of the glacial hole that held the man captive. As it turns out, the shivering, barking dog is what got the helicopter rescue crew's attention first before they even saw the crevasse. The Air Zermatt rescue team was able to lift the hiker and his dog to safety and flew them to a local hospital. Air Zermatt released a statement later calling the effort an extraordinary rescue mission. Neither the hiker's name nor the dog's name were made public. Hams know that a life-saving HT is always a plus for such hikes. But for extra assurance, perhaps the next essential in the amateur radio Go kit ought to be something called an LD, which in this case stands for Loyal Dog. This is Ralph Squilacci, KK6ITB.
A good QSO can be like poetry sometimes, so why not write a haiku about amateur radio and join the Newsline Haiku Challenge? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. We can only accept the correct haiku format. That is a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Adventure Radio Society, Adventure.com, Amateur News Daily, CBS, David Behar, K7DB, DX World, 425 DX Bulletin, FCC, Guardian, PC Mag, ShortwaveRadio.de, Solar Car Challenge, Swiss Info, Wireless Institute of Australia, Youth on the Air, youthdxa.org, Zero Retries newsletters, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2 GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 11 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening, calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is Thomas, and my call sign is KE8OWX. However, for the purpose of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
W8VPV. Repeater.
This is an open and directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and during times of social isolation to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m., preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, allowing me a chance to confirm each call before moving on to the next. Then we'll work through the 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until we're done. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call. Repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, we'll close the net after repeating the announcements. We also operate an HF plus 6-meter band exploration net starting at 9:30 p.m. after this net. The approximate frequencies are posted on the web page, and tonight will be on 40 meters at approximately 7 Mark 187 megahertz. Please join us if you have the privileges and the equipment. And the only announcement I have is I believe we have an event at the clubhouse this Wednesday evening. But that's the only one that I know of off the top of my head here real quick. This is Whiskey H Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for any officers or anybody with an announcement for the club. Please call now.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar.
All right, Vince, go ahead.
The usual complaint. It's middle of the month, sort of time to get the articles in. I don't have much else to say. Honest, that's about it. It's time to get articles in. Other than that, here in Silver Lake, it's not bad, considering we've had heat, and more heat. Alpha Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar, back to net.
Thanks for stopping by, Vince. And is there anybody else with an announcement for the club? Please call now. Hearing none, we'll move on to regular check-ins. Give me a chance to recognize each call before moving on, but we're looking for 5 check-ins. Please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Golf Delta, Bill in Macedonia.
I got you, Bill. Next, please.
Taser Frank 8, Alpha November Oscar, Jim Owens, Cuyahoga Falls.
I got you, A&O. Next, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Victor, Quebec X-ray, Joe in Akron Heights. Thomas, just an announcement.
All right, got you, VQX. Next, please.
K8HMS.
Got you, K8HMS, and we're looking for one more.
W3X.
All right, got you, W03X. We'll go up to the top of the list. KF8, and I believe the last 2 were GO. I didn't get the other one. If you could give me your call sign again, and then it's your turn.
in and out. We have nothing to 73.
All right, I got you in and out. KF8 A&O, go ahead.
That was KF8 A&O, in and out.
I got you, Jim. All right, I guess, Bill, are you still out there? Hearing nothing, we'll move on, and he must have been in and out. K8 HMS, you're up.
Yeah, W8VPV in the net, K8 HMS. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Glad to hear whoever's there. Thank you for running the net. Man, not much going on. Just enjoying the cooler evening, and I guess that's about it. Nothing much happening down here in the valley. So, back to you, W8VPV, K8 HMS.
Thanks for stopping by. We're enjoying the nice weather as well. I don't have my radio gear hooked back up, so we're just QRP on the porch with the 705. All right, John, WO3X, you're up.
W8VPV, this is WO3X. Good evening, Thomas, and all on the net. Doing pretty good here, and tonight was the Riverfront Cruise-In, and also starting at 7 o'clock is the Aries digital net. So I use my handheld UHF radio, and this little $99 laptop that Micro Center puts on sale from time to time. What's special about that is that it runs on 12 volts, but I take it to the Riverfront Cruise-In with me, and at 7 o'clock I send my digital message, SFL Digi. So that's been working okay, but actually this was only the third Riverfront Cruise-In of the season because of all the rain. It started back in June, and so last week was the first one after like a month. But I used the Twinsburg input from the Riverfront Cruise-In there on 2nd Street, and that works just fine. So let's see. So we'll see what's going on Wednesday there, and I'm expecting my certificate for the 13 colonies. I heard that Keith, KEATQR, got his, so hopefully I'll be getting mine pretty soon. So with that, this is WO3X, back to the net. Thanks for stopping by, John, and hopefully we'll hear you on 40. This is Whiskey 8, Victor, Papa Victor. That brings us to the bottom of those 5. We're looking for 5 more. Please call now.
Kilo Fox 8, Echo Papa Bravo, Victor Papa Falls. 8 ABB, Tony, Airman Valley, in and out tonight.
All right, I had 2 in there. There was a KF8, and it was E something B, I believe. Please call back.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Papa Bravo, Dan in Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, I got you, Dan, and then there was somebody in Merriman Valley that was underneath of you. if they could come back.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Victor Delta Tony, Merriman Valley. In and out tonight.
All right, AVD, I got you in and out. We're looking for 3 more. Please call now.
WTK.
Foxtrot 8 Delta Golf Delta Bill Macedonia again. You cut off when you went through the first ones, and I was just letting you know I was still here for some reason. When you came back, I didn't hear you.
All right, Bill. We'll come back to you in just a second. I got KA8WTK, and next, please. We'll go with what we got, and we'll go back up to Bill. Go ahead. Bill in Macedonia, you're up. There, Bill. We'll give you another shot at that. Dan, you're up. KF8EPB.
This is KF8EPB, Dan. I'm a new ham. This is my first net ever. Just trying to get over the mic fright, and thanks for having me. Back to net.
Glad to have you. KF8AVD was in and out, so KA8WTK, you're up.
W8VPV, KA8W2K. Good evening, Thomas, and everybody on the net, and welcome to Dan. Got a little bit of antenna work done this week. Not so hot out. And getting done with the yard work, we can finally get to what we wanted to do. Got 160-meter antenna wiggled around on it, supports a little bit, so it's the twin lead that runs up to the ladder line is a little straighter. So didn't change the SWR or anything, but it's satisfying to know that it's not all twisted anymore. Back to net control, W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Thanks for stopping by. Bill in Macedonia, give it another shot, see if you got that power up a little bit. Just not holding it, unfortunately. So that was just static struck. Maybe the battery's letting out on you, or the communications should change. But we're glad to get you in here on the list. This is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor.
hear you. How copy my transmission?
I can hear you pretty okay, but there's a lot of noise on your signal.
I can hear it on just about everybody. But anyway, I won't keep you. Had a great day here at the QTH. It's a beautiful day with low humidity. And this afternoon in the mail, I did receive my certificate for the 13 colonies. So if anyone is waiting for that, it is on its way, I'm sure. So with that, I'll send it back to you, Thomas. Thanks for running the net. This is KEACQR saying 73, and God bless.
Thanks for stopping by, Keith. Glad to hear you out there. This is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for any more check-ins. Please call now.
Good evening, Thomas. W8EZT here.
Frank?
I just got in and turned on the radio, and I'm hearing this, and I'm concerned we have a repeater problem.
It does sound like there's quite a few pops and cracks in there. But I don't think it was doing it at the beginning of the net.
Thomas, obviously we were up there Sunday working on it. We had the RF circuit open. There was something wrong. We need to get up there ASAP.
This is W03X. How do I sound?
You're coming in good, John.
Okay, thanks. And you came in good that time, Frank.
All right, try again. Maybe I've got the problem on my side. Everybody seems very noisy when I started.
You're good right now, but yeah, you were noisy when you started there.
All right, go ahead, Thomas. I'm sorry. Please check me in. I probably have an announcement here. I'll figure it out in a second. I just got in the door.
All right, Frank. Let me know when you get your announcement. The end of your transmission sounds a little scratchy just at the end, but that Morse code and stuff coming straight from the repeater sounds okay. So it might just be on the receive side. Kind of as we expected, that antenna is, yeah, we gotta get that on the schedule here. All right, this is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor. Do we have any other check-ins? Please call now.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, KE8ULC, Kurtz and Cuyahoga Falls.
Go ahead, Kurt.
I'm just about a mile from the repeater. Everybody's scratchy. There was a little opening there between you and Frank and John, but it's been scratchy all night. So back to you in the net.
There, Kurt. That's good to know. I've only got about 10 watts out to the repeater, so they may have some interference here, but the rest seems pretty good. You sounded really good, though, Kurt. All right, do we have anybody else? This is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for additional check-ins. Please call now.
Recheck, Thomas, W8ECT. Okay, yeah, I do not know what's going on, but I believe the repeater has lost a little bit of sensitivity there. One or both of us need to go up and look into that, because normally you're in pretty solid, I think, with 10 watts, unless, oh, you did say you were going to be working off your porch. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, some real quick announcements. This Wednesday at the clubhouse, I'm going to try to put most of the rest of the ground system in, the lightning rod system. I could certainly use some help. I need some of that ground cloth that you put down to keep plants from going through it. I'm going to pick up some gravel, rocks tomorrow for the project. It'll be a little bit of physical. I'll drag a shovel out there. We're going to do some digging, some pounding, some shoveling, and I got to go chase down the parts. But that's the plan there. And also, as far as the picnic, That's going to be the shelter to the left of Shady Bend. That was already reserved this year. That's all I've got for now. Thomas will hand it back to you. W8ECT.
All right, Frank. Frank, sounds good. Yeah, I'm just on the 705 and a whip. I don't have anything hooked up in the shack yet, again, but that might explain some of mine. But you got real noisy in the middle of your transmission, and I think it's that problem we're having with that antenna. Because it gets really good and then it doesn't. But if you can get a chance to go check it real quick, I'd say go ahead and do that, because my week has filled up extremely quick. This is Whiskey H Victor, Papa Victor. Let's see, do we have anybody else out there looking to check in? Please call now. Look at the announcements real quick. Frank just went over it. He grabbed both of them. We have the picnic coming up soon. Sign up is on the website. So check that for time and sign up. And then this Wednesday at the field house, there's some work with the grounding. And you can also check the clubhouse if you haven't been up there yet, so it'd be a good time to check out both and put a hand in there. Other than that, this is Whiskey H Victor, Papa Victor. We're going to do last call for check-ins. Please call now.
KULC. Frank, what time do you want us out there to the clubhouse to help you?
Well, good question. I'm still planning. Let's say about 4:30. I'm going to try to get there by 4, but maybe 4:30 for sure. I'm going to bring a shovel. I'm putting a list of what I need together tomorrow, and I got to go out shopping for it. But some copper wire to tie the ground clamps together, a shovel, maybe a spade to dig a slit trench and put the wire in there, sledgehammer, which the club has there, to pound in some stakes to hold that window well support in there. That's basically what I'm going to round up. Anything you have, you might throw in in your trunk or something like that. But I'd say tentatively by about 4:30 we'll get going, and I would hope to be done by 6:30 at the latest.
Recall, Frank, I have some copper wire, grounding wire from a fuse box to a ground rod that I can bring. Quite a bit of it if you need it.
That would be awesome. We're going to need about a 15-foot segment to connect the two ground rods, and then we'll need another segment to go up the wall, but I'm going to hold off putting that in for the time being until we get the windows replaced. Looks like that might happen reasonably soon.
You may want to pick up a couple of the clamps to be able to clamp those wires together, then down to the grounding rod.
Yep, I do have ground rod clamps, so I'm going to do basically 2 clamps at the new ground rod. One going to the old one and one going up to the second floor entrance panel once we get the windows replaced.
W8V.
When you're settled, let me know and I'll bring the wire out, what time, and we'll get on it.
Okay, as I say, I'll be there at 4:30 tomorrow, and I want to get the one section, the 15-foot section, in tomorrow because it's going to go under the window well. But the second section can wait for whenever the window gets done.
Right, this is KE8ULC 73.
Great, thank you so much, Kurt. Really appreciate it. Back to you. Well, I don't know if that was still going or not. Back to you, Thomas, W8ECT.
That's okay. This is Whiskey Victor, Papa Victor. Do we have any last check-ins? Please call now.
This is W03X with a comment. It sounds like Frank, W8EZT, is planning to be there tomorrow, so I'm not sure if that was misspoken, or if there's going to be activity tomorrow as well as Wednesday. This is W03X back to the net.
I'm sorry, everybody. Just to clarify, it's Wednesday is when I will be there. Tomorrow I've got to do some shopping and put all the materials needed together. Wednesday, about by 4:30. I hope to get there a little earlier, but thank you, John. If I said anything else, I meant Wednesday. It's getting old stuff as hell. Back to net, W8EZT.
Wednesday is the clubhouse work session. This is Whiskey Victor, Papa Victor. I wasn't really hearing any of their check-ins, so I'm prepared to close the net. We'd like to thank everybody that took the time to join us. If we didn't have you checking in, we wouldn't have a net, and I'd just be sitting here talking into the dark. This has been K8OWX. It's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, we'll close the net with 12 check-ins and return the repeater to normal customary amateur use. This is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 8:58 p.m. local time, 73. And announce the 40-meter net frequency closer to 9:30. But I got to see what's open on the band scope there. K8OWX.
W8EZT with tones.
Ready.
W8EZT testing. W8EZT testing.
I can hear you, Frank. KAHE,
Hi, John. I just backed the power up. It sounded like we had a lot of noise on the repeater tonight, but I forgot Thomas's had some siding put up and had work off a handheld, I guess, a 705 from his front porch, so maybe that's what the noise was. I just pushed my power down and was able to get a reasonably good echo back. Anyway, how you doing, John? Long time no hear.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing okay, Frank. I came out here, I came out a little bit early tonight to the radio room. Usually it's after 9 by the time I get here. And I thought, oh, good, I'm early. I'm going to check in on the net. And I turned it on, and so Thomas was closing as he was wrapping it up. So I didn't try to get in there at the last minute. But maybe next week. Do you know what band the HF net's going to be on tonight, Frank?
Yes, I do. It'll be 40 meters, probably 827, I believe. He will announce it on this repeater about 2 or 3 minutes before 9:30.
Okay, I'll give a listen. And I do have 40 meter capability, so I will give a listen around 7827 kilocycles. And I've got a new antenna I'm building, and I'm looking forward to getting that up. It's a cobweb antenna, that covers 40 all the way through 6 meters. And so I work on that today a little bit, and I still haven't finished yet. I'm just lacing it up with the wire for each band, which is pre-cut. All I have to do is just string it up there and put it all in place and make the connection. And so that's what I'm doing. I didn't buy it new. I got it, it was donated to me by an amp operator out in Rootstown. Mike is his name. And he put up a, let me see, it is an Optibeam. And he replaced his cobweb antenna with an Optibeam. And I went and picked it up last month, and I finally got around to putting it together. So anyway, that's the project here this week, is to put that together and see if I can get it in the air maybe sometime next week. So that's what's been going on here, Frank. Not much else.
Very good, very good. I love playing with antennas. That's probably one of my more favorite parts of this hobby, that and fox hunting. I've seen those cobweb antennas. They are lightweight in nature, but they do the job. I have heard that from several people. And for a small rotational footprint, so you don't have to cut a slot in the trees all around your house, that's a darn good antenna to use. And they're fairly easy to get up and down. I've got an old Mosley tri-bander sitting in my barn, cleaned up, new filters, ready to go, and just never got around to putting it up on a tower. And now I'm talking about taking my, getting a new house built here, which means anything up there won't stay. So it's probably going to stay in the barn for another couple of years. And by the time I get to putting another one up, I may have to rethink the whole process and maybe try something like a cobweb. Anyway, we break for time here. I'm resurrecting my Magloop auto-tune code and want to get it working, and maybe I'll be out at our picnic demonstrating it. No promises yet, but if I can get it working to some degree, maybe that's what I'll do. It saves all that hassle of tuning Magloop antennas. All right, I'm going to get going here. I've been working on some email for our officers, and need to get that finished up, and then I'm going to try to check in on the 40-meter net. Good hearing in there. I'm going to have the radio on later on, so I'll be listening on 220. If I hear you come through, I'll give you a shout. W8VPV, back to you.
Which was a fun project. Another good story. I'll break here for time, and I got a good story to report to you. Yeah, the night before last, I was out here on later in the evening on 20 meters, and I ran across Alpha 7 1 X-ray, the Prime Minister of Qatar, and he was out there calling CQ, and that was interesting to listen to. I was getting a station in Qatar who happened to be the Prime Minister, so anyway, he was making a lot of stateside contacts. I wasn't able to make the contact, but I think he signed off, and I only tried once and didn't get through, and I didn't get to try again because he was gone. But anyway, it was an interesting contact that I heard on 20 meters 2 nights ago.
Wow, I remember my dad working the King of Jordan back in the early 80s, and he was just absolutely, he came running up the steps. We thought something was wrong. He was so excited about that, and then of all things, he met one of his cousins at the Cleveland Clinic. They were both up there for heart procedures during the same time, and that was kind of an interesting small world story, but very good. Congratulations. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Got to get some emails out for the club. We'll talk to you later. W8EZT. I'll be clear on your final.
All right, Frank, have a good evening. I know you're staying busy with the club. I can hear that. You sound like you're pretty busy with that. I guess it's a good thing to be retired and have time to do that stuff. My plan was to retire and get more active in ham radio. And so far I've got first part, I got the retirement thing, but I haven't gotten more active. Oh, building antennas, yeah, but I want to get more active in the clubs, and I'm doing some of that. All right, Frank, have a good evening, and we'll talk later. And EZT, W8EZT from KAHEKG. I'll be clear with you, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. Bye for now.
This is KE8OWX. We're going to try 7 Mark 187. 7 Mark 187.
W8VPV. Repeater TL110.9. Port link off. W8VPV. Repeater.